Hello and welcome to Dead Cells. Let's go ahead and try our hand at another run. We're gonna keep the costume that we have right now. So you know what? I see Death Scythe. We're gonna go for an early green run. I feel that's probably the best way for me to be doing this. Come on. I need to swap those around. Just doing terribly here. Doing absolutely terribly here. Alright, where do I need to be going? That's to the toxic sewers. My scrolls of power... Is there only one scroll of power here? Did I get spawned into a world with only one scroll of power? That's kind of lame. I'm thinking about going for brutality, actually. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm gonna go for brutality over everything else. Yeah, we're gonna be lame and go for a brutality run. Do I want that? Kind of. Not like I'm really going to be using it a whole bunch. I'll take that over. I'll take Death Orb over that, though. Alright, I do see the whip. I want to give the whip another shot. Fuck. This is the vampire killer. You know what? We're not going to get rid of the Death Scythe just yet. I'm going to go for I'm going to take it in reserve because I'm still low enough that I could swap back to having this place is cursed. The survival could still do that. Punishment. Go ahead and do that. I do have the apostate outfit available. Not going to upgrade anything. We're going to go get my usual there. And we're just going to sell that for some money. Took a sip of my drink, and my glass is not really well suited for recording. Gotta be honest. Fuck me. I'm cursed. Oh, almost missed that. Now I've really got to wonder, do I want to go for survival and just burn like the two things that I use for brutality already? Or do I want to... What do I have on the map? I wish I could go out of this menu without burning it. We're gonna split it. I've got non-brutality. Alright, I guess I'm going survival. I guess I messed up in the first area by swapping. Yeah, because I'm not gonna continue to use the whip. I really dislike the whip unless there's something here that pops out. I'd rather... Okay. I'm gonna buy a better shield. And... Oh, man. Now, that's not even... That's a decent flint. But it's not something that is worth coming back for, if that makes sense. There is a decent weapon up here. But not really in the grand scheme of it all. So, through a series of unfortunate events, I'm actually coming into possession of a new TV. And it's a relatively large TV. And it's going to make... I'm now going to have, what is it? 4 TVs in my house. So I'm trying to figure out the best place of where I want to put this new TV. The TV is 88 inches. It is the largest TV. Now, I've had large form factor TVs before. I started out with a 27-inch monitor as my first quote-unquote TV. I would just, plug my PlayStation into the back of it when I was, in college. And that was my main display during college. It was just a cheap, probably like 200 it was around 200, maybe like 170 Asus 27-inch monitor. And it, you know what, I can't be mad, it did the job. And then about, I want to say my what would that be, sophomore year of college, I was cursed. I can do a second run. My my sophomore year of college, I bought myself a 50-inch TV, and I think I went with a Vizio brand, and it was all right. It did things okay. We'll go with this one again. Practically the same run as last time. But yeah, I went from a Vizio TV to a or it went from a computer monitor to an actual TV. And it was nice going from, 27 inch to a 50 inch. It was real nice. And the one thing that I liked about the Vizio TV that I had is it wasn't a smart TV. That was the thing that I really wanted about that. I did not want a smart TV at the time because it was like, the less smart features I have in this TV, the better. I don't need built-in TV tuners. I don't need anything. And it was really nice. Anything that I plugged into it, it worked. It would just work. And it was, I thought at the time, fantastic. Then, the TV, after that, I went up to a 4K TV. I sold that TV at a pretty low. I think I sold it for like $150. Or did I even sell it? No, I sold it for like $150 to my sisters because they didn't have a TV and they wanted a TV. And I wanted a new TV. And I think I was like $200 short. So I sold them the majority of what I needed to save up for a new TV. And I think I went with like a Walmart. What is Walmart's brand that's like cheap? It's like Hisense, or I know it starts with an H. So I went with and grabbed a 4K 55-inch TV. But again, still a dumb TV. No smart features at all. And for a while, that lasted me through the rest of college. I think I had the Vizio for about a year and a half. So I would have been in my junior year. But, college for me, I took 5 years in college. So, I was in college for a little bit longer than most people. But now, the TV after that, after I got my first job out of college, and moved out into my own place, I wanted to treat myself. So I went down to a Best Buy and looked at their large TVs and was like, this one. I want to get this one. Yeah, we're going to do that. And it ended up being a TCL 65-inch TV. And that is the TV that I still own that TV. It is a fantastic TV. I bought it in 2018, and hey, 6 years later, it's still hanging in there and still going strong. And that is in fact the TV that I am using as I speak right now. That hasn't always been the case. I bought a smaller TV after about 2 years at that job, I had built a second PC, and I was like, hey, I now want I have a second. I had moved to a new apartment that was like a 2-bedroom apartment, and I was still living by myself. So I was like, hey, I'm going to make this second bedroom into a streaming office. And what would be nice is if I could get a secondary TV, a smaller TV for that office. So I bought a 50, I think it's 55 actually, but I bought now what is considered relatively small TV by all standards. And that is what I have been using in my streaming and my secondary bedroom office space for a while. We don't want that. Would I like that? You know what? We'll try this. Then I moved again, and I was like, hey, I'm doing pretty well. I've got, you know, I've got some nice things coming up. I had like a decent bonus from work, so I went and got an LG. I wanted to upgrade to a OLED TV, so I got a LG like C1, and I think I got the C1 because the C2 had just come out, and the C1s were on sale, so I bought a 77-inch LG OLED, and that has been my main go-to TV in my living room for a long time, and it's honestly been really nice. I think I want this. I love my LG. It's frightened me a couple times because sometimes I'll open it, I'll turn it on, and there's just these red lines going across the screen. I'm like, ah, shit, my TV broke. What's gonna happen? And that's happened about 3 times in the lifespan that I've owned that TV. And I've owned that TV for about 2 years now. I think I got it in like 2022. When did I buy that TV? I bought that TV in that apartment. Then I moved once more, and that was 2023. No, I moved out of that apartment in 2023. Did I buy it? No, I didn't buy it in 2020. I bought the LG in 21. I can't remember. I honestly can't remember the date of when I bought that TV. But now, my parents have been asking me, like, hey, what's a good TV? Because their house, they have this giant living room. I mean, it is absolutely a massive living room. And when they bought the house, it came with a TV. It came with a huge DLP projector TV. This TV was 90 inches. I mean, it was just absolutely gigantic. And it worked out pretty well for them. The problem is that the house has these beautifully huge windows, though. And where the TV is, you basically would have to turn the TV on and wait for it to warm up because it's a projection TV. It's a DLP. Fantastic TV, but, you know, this thing was also gigantic. I mean, it was almost as deep as it was wide. So they had been searching around for a TV for themselves for a while to fit that room. And they ended up going with a 85-inch Samsung The Frame QLED TV. And for a long time, they were happy with it. And then my dad texted me. And I was like, hey, my son, whose name I will not say right now because I don't want to dox myself. My TV's doing this weird thing where it gets really dark and when we're watching movies. And I'm like, okay, that's strange. It's like, did you mess with any settings? Like, no, it just middle of a movie, the TV would get so dark that you can't see anything on the picture. So I was like, oh, that's really weird. Okay. And I was, you know, I was like, hey, can you do this? Can you do that? And then I was about to go over to his house because I couldn't go over that time because he texted me at work. And he was talking about something that happened like a day and a half ago. But he's like, the strange thing is that it's not always doing that. They turned the TV on the next day and it was fine. It worked absolutely fine. So I was like, ah, that's weird. And I didn't give it much thought. And then it started happening again. And my parents were like, hey, this TV was like $3,000. It shouldn't be doing this. It's like, yeah, agreed. And so they called up Samsung's customer service and like, hey, we're going to send someone out. A technician came out and looked at the TV and identified it as a failing panel. And they said that can't work. Like irreplaceable or not worth replacing. Something like that. They said that it's a non-repairable object. Which I was like, that's kind of weird. But the TV still works. So I was always interested, like, what exactly is going on with this TV? So, they were like, hey, great, it's you got Samsung can't repair it, your technicians won't change out the part or do anything to it. What do they suggest? Thankfully, the TV was still under warranty, so it was no money out of their pocket. Samsung was like, hey, we're gonna give you a full credit for a TV. And it's like, hey, awesome, fantastic. So my parents went to the Best Buy right next to them, and they said, hey, this is the exact TV that we want. We know what we come for. We have this credit from Samsung for a TV. And then, here's the funny thing. There is a new model of the frame. And my dad's like, hey, should we get the exact same TV or should I now upgrade? And I was like, okay, how much is it to upgrade? And he was like, okay, I save $600 of the credit, or not the credit, of the money returned to them by Samsung for the TV, for their TV going out. They said, hey, my dad would gain $600 for not getting the exact same, if he were to get the exact same TV. So then he's like, okay, how much, what's the better thing if I got the latest and greatest of, you know, he still wanted a 55, or not 55, he still wanted the 85-inch frame TV because it was about the only size that would fit the room that the TV goes in. And it's like, that's going to cost you about $1,300 to upgrade. But Dad's like, fuck that. Just give us the same model that we have and we'll go on our way. It's like, great, fantastic. I would have done the same thing. So they now have $600 in their pocket, a new TV from Best Buy, and everyone's the happier. I am now taking the 85-inch Samsung TV from them. They're like, hey, you want this TV? Maybe you can fix it, or maybe you can list it and sell it, and or help them sell it, or, you know, this and that. I was like, okay, sure. So I now have to figure out what the hell I'm gonna do with an 85-inch TV that sometimes doesn't work. So now I'm What is double damage? Are the scythes double damage? Scythes are double damage. I don't want that. Let's reforge. That's not great. So I now have 4 TVs. I have a 77 LG, a 65 TCL, a 55 Samsung, and now a 85-inch Samsung. So I took the old TCL from my bedroom, because that has been my bedroom TV, and I now have it in my stream office. It is on the verge of being too big. I know people say, like, oh, you can't have a too big of TV. It's like, no, you can. You can. And this TV, with how far away I sit from my, God damn it, shouldn't have attacked. With how far I sit from the TV in the office, it is just about too big. And now I'm wondering if I don't want to do what I was thinking of doing, because I was going to put the 85-inch TV in my bedroom, because with how my parents have described the problem. Wow. How long is this episode? I think that says 25 minutes. I can do a third. I want to finish this story. With how my parents have described the problem, the TV is fine as long as you don't use it for very often. And the problem is that when they're at their house and they want to watch a movie, the TV works fine for a few minutes, right? And then it starts getting darker and darker, and it suddenly just, it's unwatchable. It's like, okay, that's definitely not how you want to use a TV in a bright room. You need to have it be able to retain brightness for the room to work, obviously. But I'm now so my original plan for where I'm going to be using the TV was in my bedroom, because, like, okay, I don't really use a TV in my bedroom all that often. A lot of the time I turn it on and set it to put a sleep timer on it, and then I just fall asleep to YouTube playing in the background for like an hour and a half or 2 hours. Very light usage of the TV. So I'm thinking I can probably use the TV just fine without it running into the issues that my parents have with it. Because I don't think I'm ever going to be watching a full feature-length movie while in bed. And yes, I know the whole psychology is like, yeah, you shouldn't really have a TV on or any electronics on in your bedroom if you're trying to get to sleep. It's like, yeah, I hear you, but it's also, this is who I am. This is the world that we live in, and that's how I sleep now. I don't want that bear trap. Could I train myself to have a better night's rest if I didn't have a TV in my bedroom? Most certainly. And I used to be of the mind that's like absolutely no TVs. I didn't even like charging my phone next to my bed before. But then, you know, 2020 rolled around and did what it did, and that messed everyone up. We'll just go to the sewers. So now that I have that habit, I was thinking, it's like, hey, a 77-inch TV, and this, or not 77, an 85-inch TV would be kind of fun in for the bedroom TV. And then I would move my big 65-inch into my office, which I've done here, and then have and leave the LG alone. I'm not interested in adjusting or removing my 77-inch. Need a little drink. Talking too much. Absolutely just uninterested in moving where my 77-inch LG is. That TV is not coming off the wall. But now that I have this TV in here, I'm not sure I like it, is the problem. Yeah. Because part of that is using a 65-inch TV in my office, and do I have a tape measure nearby? Can I do this live, or quote unquote live? Because how far away am I sitting from this TV? 2 seconds, hold on. Okay, I have a tape measure. I am sitting... I sit about 84 inches away from a 65-inch TV. That's what I'm doing right now. I am sitting 7 feet away. 85 in... That is 85. Anyway, 7 feet. My head is 7 feet away from this TV. And with how I have it positioned on the desk, it's also a little tall. It's a lot taller than where I had, or how I had, the 55-inch TV, which I didn't think would be a problem. But now that I'm using this in because I messed around for like 30 minutes after I moved the TV, I was thinking, like, okay, yeah, we'll see how this works. It shouldn't be that bad, right? No, this is actually kind of annoying, having to look slightly up, and then with how big it is, it's catching a lot of glare from my overhead light. But also with how I think the Samsung TV that my little 55-inch Samsung has a more matte finish on the screen, so it's easier with direct light. And it doesn't do a reflection as much. But of course, you know, also maybe it's just how and where the TV is positioned. In fact, I think that is a majority of of how it's working out. And I don't think I like it. So I'm thinking of moving back to my 55-inch. Ooh, another gilded Yumi. Thank you. We're going to put that there. I'm thinking about putting the 55-inch back here, but then I'm like, do I want my 65 back in my bedroom? Because it works. The 65 works pretty well in my bedroom. The thing that I don't like about it is that it's really bright. And I'm thinking that maybe the 85 won't be as bright, but I mean, it's a QLED, so it's probably going to be just as bright, if not brighter than anything. So maybe I want to put this TV, my TCL, back into the bedroom and figure out another place to keep the 85-inch TV. And I can hear like some nasty comments. Not that I'm a very small channel still, so I thankfully don't have any nasty comments. I think I've gotten like 2 or 3 nasty comments in like the last 6 months. And honestly, I wouldn't even call them nasty, really nasty comments either. But I could, you can definitely picture someone saying like, "Oh my God, such a first world problem. There are people starving." It's like, okay, but I don't live in that kind of country. I live in this country where I get to have that. I get to have a first world problem. Just because you live in a first world country doesn't mean you can't complain about having first world problems. There's still problems that you have. Even if they're just like non-problems. Enough of that soapbox though. We want that. So I just really don't know where I want to place TVs now, because I have a rolling TV cart. So maybe I try. The problem is if I where I need the TVs, I need to decide before my dad brings over his old TV, because I'm going to need his help regardless to place whichever TV is going on that rolling cart on the rolling cart, because these TVs, it was the 55-inch, that's a small enough TV, that is a one-man job, easily able to do that. And the 85-inch, the panel alone is like 90 pounds. I think he weighed it and it's like 98 pounds. It is massive. I can't lift that. I mean, I could lift that, but it's so unwieldy. It's like, yeah, good luck. I don't want that. No, I fucked up. I fucked up. And then no mercy. You know what? We'll go to the bank. We'll go to the bank instead of, because we haven't been to the bank and we died in the bank last run. But then it's like, for a for the rolling TV. Because the frame has a breakout box for all of its inputs and outputs. So if I do that, I'm going to have to find the shelf that came with the rolling display or rolling TV monitor and get it there. And it might not work. I'm afraid that it's still not going to work because the size of the panel might block where the shelf is, and I'll be in a bad spot. So maybe I do try and put it in my bedroom on my dresser. For the 85. Ah, shit. I realized way too late. I've got it figured out, but I'm not going to do a fourth run. Thank you guys for watching, though. Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, leave a comment down below. If you have any suggestions about what I should be doing with all of these TVs, let me know as well. With that said, though, hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.